you get this period where those people you're close to, care about you more. And it's weird to say because your family and friends have this connotation that they always should care for you. That's why they're your friends and family. But in this situation, whenever they know it's gonna end, that their time with you is limited, they seem to pull closer to you. They want to listen to you more. They want to hear from you, be with you, or see you more often. And I wanted to talk about what I call mini deaths. And what I mean by mini deaths is something like this: an event that transfers you over into a different lifestyle or takes you away from your current situation and places you somewhere completely different, to the point where your friends and family are affected by it and aren't going to see you for a long period of time, or for an indefinite period of time. So I'll give you two examples. So two examples in my life were one when I deployed for the Air Force. So I was going to be gone for 6 months. So in that time frame, close friends and family weren't going to see me for almost half of a year. So it was something that, well, I'll get into that later. But the second example is what I'm going to be doing in April, in that I'm going to be going and traveling around the world. So it's going to, for an indefinite amount of time. So my friends and family aren't going to be seeing me on a daily basis. That's what I call like mini deaths. I call them mini deaths, or related to deaths, just because it's the absence of you within everyone else's lives. So your friends and family's lives, it's almost like you're dying and going somewhere else and they don't have you. And the reason why I wanted to talk about mini deaths, aside from me going in April and definitely don't know when I'll be back, is the effect it has on your family and friends, and the immense impact. It reminds me of the cliche quote, absence makes the heart fonder. So in these situations, what I'm noticing is that when I tell people I'm going on this deployment, so I'm going to be gone for 6 months, or I'm going to be gone indefinitely, the people around me who really care, they're kind of distraught. I tell them and they're like, what? What do you mean? Oh my God, you can't be doing that. What? And they get really distraught. And for me, it's very impactful that they get distraught, because that's when I know they care. If they didn't get distraught or didn't get worried, then I'd be worried about how much they actually care for me, because in that sense they're indifferent to what happens to me. Maybe that's not the best word or it's for it, but they aren't necessarily as invested in my health and well-being as someone who is passionate and is distraught for me leaving their lives. So that's one thing. But then you bring in the distraught nature. But then afterwards, you get this period where those people you're close to, care about you more. And it's weird to say because your family and friends have this connotation that they always should care for you. That's why they're your friends and family. But in this situation, whenever they know it's going to end, that their time with you is limited, they seem to pull closer to you. They want to listen to you more. They want to hear from you, be with you, see you more often. And that's why I call it a mini death, because it's almost like their realization that you're not always going to be there. And you're not always going to be here in this present moment. And that's what death is the absence of yourself, or this entity we call, well, in my sense, Matthew Norman, isn't going to be here. And it's this mini death because it's their realization that you're not going to be here always. You're not always going to be by their side. It's not always going to be there for advice or for time to go, let's say, to the lake, to a kayaking, to spend time with. And it's that realization that you're not going to be there all the time that these friends and family begin to understand that their time with you is very precious. It's limited. And because of that, I feel like they care tenfold, care much more about those moments whenever they do have time with you. And it's vice versa too, right? I care a lot more about the people I care deeply about, because I know that in April I'm not going to see them every single day. Like my mother, I'm not going to see her every single day. And it's weird because she's one of my best friends and she's a big role model in my life, and she's also one of the people I lean on as well, and know that I'm not going to have her every single day. I care much more about my time I spend with her, and I try to cherish each moment I'm with her and the other people that I have deemed that I want to love and I want to put in the work for, or to love. Those people, I care a lot more about the time I spend with them. Because at the end of the day, we only have a limited amount of time, all of us. And whether it's a mini death or it's an actual death, that time you have left is precious. And you need to keep reminding yourself of that. And that's why I think these mini deaths are so important, because it reminds you, it reminds the people around you that, like I said before, that it's your time and their time is very limited, and we need to make the most out of the time we have.